It's the Shout Out Podcast with me, Danny Bitty Downward, and our guest today, Mr. Harry Lawrence. How are you,
Hello.
Harry? How's it going, man? It's good to chat with you.
I'm good. Yeah, nice to catch up with you. How you doing?
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Just been
Good.
podcasting, trying to do anything other than play horrible, sweaty gigs in London.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've been watching. I watched the one with Charlie Parker
Charlie
last week.
Parker, yes.
That
Big
leads
fan of
me
our
to the rest of
podcast,
the
are you?
basement.
Yeah, I hear you're a big fan of Charlie Parker's work.
I've heard a few bits here and there.
So, guys, if you don't know, Harry is our mate who we met at uni, and he's been kind of making music at the same time as we have since we left uni in different bands. Talk me about that, Harry. So we left uni,
hmm
and you went to start a band. How did it happen? Talk me through it.
Yeah, so I mean, like when I started uni at Oxford Brookes, where we both went, like the dream was to just become like really good at songwriting and
Yeah.
producing and learn about that side of things. And then obviously due to things at uni like COVID, things didn't fall into place.
Got that, yeah.
Um, so yeah, after uni, I moved back home to like Shrewsbury area,
Mm.
like sort of the Midlands. And I was really keen to sort of get an originals band going.
Yeah.
So I put an advert up on this forum called Join My Band.
Oh yeah,
We used
yeah.
that. We
Heard of
found our
that.
first ever bassist on there back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was like before uni, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, right, before you.
Yeah,
Okay.
before
Yeah.
uni.
Cool. Yeah, so yeah, I put an advert up in there, literally advertised for every band member other than lead guitarist, which I
Yeah,
wanted to do.
obviously. Who
Um,
else?
um, so
Harry Lawrence
then,
is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Got an ego.
yeah, so then I found Tommy, who's a
Mm.
singer. I found Jake, the bassist. Um, I found the drummer, and then I found Jack on the rhythm guitarist. I found on an app called Vamper, which is
Yeah, I think I've heard of that one. I've never used it.
basically like LinkedIn crossed with Tinder, but for musicians.
What the fuck?
You can like you
How
can like
does it work?
swipe on people, but then
Really?
you can send like connection requests like you do on LinkedIn.
Oh my god.
Like, that
The
builds
two
up your network.
scummiest apps, Tinder and LinkedIn, put in
Oh
one.
my God.
No, but
That
when they come
sounds
together
awful.
and you mix
Yeah,
music
I mean,
involved, well,
yeah.
yeah. So that's how I found them, and then I
How long
feel
did that take to like get the whole band? Because it's five of you, which like musicians are notorious for being so useless at organizing themselves. But it
That
seems
was
like you got the whole thing up and running. You were practicing writing songs quite quickly, you know?
yeah. Well, I'd say like what we left uni in like May, and then we probably had the full band together rehearsing in I'd say August.
Wow.
wow.
So
We were
it took
still living in Oxford at that time, like, and you'd literally formed a band with five of you already practicing. That's cool.
Yeah, well, I knew what I wanted to do, and I was just like, I need to just do it, and I need to just, get the people and get jamming. Um,
Mm.
and I was quite lucky, I found people who were equally as committed as I was.
Yeah.
How was it structured though? Was as you looked for the members, right? So I'm assuming you were the organizer. Were you the kind of brains behind the group or?
Um, well, I was the sort of musical director, I suppose you could
Musical
say.
director.
Give
It's a
yourself, are you going to give yourself
I
a
very
was,
title?
formal term for the main man. I like it.
Musical
well, I mean,
director.
I'm sure if you would speak to other people that were in the band, they might say different things, but I'm not gonna go down that route. But
Diss
well,
track coming soon.
pardon?
I said there's a diss track coming soon.
Diss track pending.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I found a singer. I had songs written from uni, which I used
Mm.
in my final project at uni.
Yeah.
And I had songs to bring to the table. Um, obviously, I had the most experience in music and production and songwriting in
Yeah.
general. So it kind of like felt natural to use my songs and go down the sort of genre and vibe that I was looking to go down. And I'd already like got contacts in place for like a logo, like an image.
Mm.
Um, so that that helps in just getting the ball rolling. But then obviously, it's a band as well. So Tommy, the lead singer, he was, a really good guitarist and a good songwriter. So we used songs that he wrote as well.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, obviously at the beginning, it was mostly me giving the sort of musical direction, but it's a band, so other people had their say. And as we went along, Jack, he started helping writing songs, and we sort of had a more collaborative approach to things.
Cool, cool. So it's like early doors, you had that EP with the 4 tracks on it.
Hmm.
Which ones were the ones that you took from that you'd kind of already started to write at uni or like used in your uni projects? Then which ones were they?
Yeah, so Nothing at All was our first single.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the one that I used in my final project.
Mm.
And at uni, Charlie and I had a little songwriting collaboration, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Charlie's getting too much airtime on this already.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charlie Parker. Uh,
Hey, your first one!
Oh, shout out! Hey,
Hey!
nice one.
I watched the last episode. I know how it
How
went.
did it feel? Your first ever shout out.
Oh, it felt really good.
You're going to be chasing that high forever, man.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can drop a few more, but
You just wait to the next one, yeah. Yeah, no, Charlie and I had a little songwriting collaboration at uni. So I wasn't very good, and I'm still not that great at writing lyrics. I don't know about you guys, but when I listen to a song, I sort of just listen to the overall sound of things.
Yeah.
Um, I don't
you
listen to
know,
the lyrics on the first
I
take.
I am the exact same, bro. All of my favorite songs, I do not know the words to them. I know like a few
yeah,
words in the chorus, but like that's it. Like, and
Yeah.
I can love a song without knowing the actual words of it. It's just like how it makes you feel.
Yeah, exactly. Like I
Yeah.
feel like when you listen to the music, it just I don't know, like just
Mm.
takes you somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's just the overall like sound and the vibe.
Mm.
That's just what I listen to. I mean, obviously, if I really love a song, and I think, I do love the lyrics as well. But on the first take, I'd say I just listen to the overall sound. And coming from a classical background myself, I feel like that's where that comes from. It's just the actual music itself rather than the lyrical aspect.
Mm.
So Charlie was a great help in writing the lyrics, and he wrote the lyrics for Nothing at All.
Cool.
mhm.
So that was the first song we released as a band in Unit 47. And then we worked on releasing an EP. So we released the next 3 songs as part of an EP.
Yeah.
We didn't release them one by one. We
So
just did.
yeah, you jumped
Wow.
straight to an EP.
Yeah. Well, because none of us had any experience in releasing music. We
Mm.
weren't working with a PR company.
Mm.
We just thought, we've got this song, we've released it because we sort of, let's test this producer, see how good he is, and let's
Yeah.
get it out. And then we're like, yeah, we like this. We like the recording process. Let's record the rest of the 3 tracks with the producer and release the other songs.
Where did
Cool.
you record the songs?
So that was at a place called Rabana's in Birmingham.
Cool.
What
Shout
was it
out
like
bands.
getting in the studio for the first time? How long? I'll rewind a bit. How long before meeting up and practicing were you in the studio and like actually recording your song? How long did it take?
Uh, yeah, so like I said, we started rehearsing as a full band probably in about August,
Mm.
and then we were in the studio in November.
That's
Wow,
quick.
Yeah,
that's
we were
really
all
quick.
keen. We were all keen, and we
Yeah,
kind of thought we want to get a song out before we start gigging, so we have like a product to
Mm.
push alongside our gigs.
yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
so we recorded in November, released the song in January, and we had our first gig in March. So actually, it was quite a long process until we actually had our first proper gig.
Wow, yes, I imagined you would have been gigging early doors, but no, your first gig
No,
was in March.
because we wanted to make sure it was tight.
Yeah,
We did that. We did that as well. I guess we thought we were the only ones who'd done that, but we released our first song, "Somebody Like You," before we even done a gig together as a band. So we were just,
yeah.
I guess, practicing. So
Well,
okay,
well, well, well. We did do a couple gigs, but
well, yeah.
you couldn't come, so we had another drummer.
Well, I was going to say even earlier than that.
Yeah.
Someone else in this room right now was part of the original lineup. No,
Oh, yeah. Someone else.
No,
There is 3 current or former spacemen in the chat right now.
yeah.
Yeah, well, if you don't mind, can I tell a story?
You can
You
please
tell away.
tell away.
Well, I don't know, like, well, from what I remember. Uh, Oh, well, No Rest for Spaceman was it was a uni assignment.
It was.
A assignment was it's like a musical project, wasn't it?
It was work experience
That
was
was it,
like
work
the
experience.
module. It was still graded, but it was called work.
Yeah. And we thought, hang on, work experience, let's make our work being in a band.
Yeah.
Smart.
Little did we know how much fucking work it was going to be.
So we yes, we formed a little trio,
Mhm.
called it No Rest for the Spacemen, and then we wrote and recorded an EP, put it on YouTube, and
Mhm.
did a gig.
Yeah, it
It
was a
was a
lot of
great
fun.
gig. It was a great gig.
Dan, you were at that gig. You watched it, didn't
I
you?
have never been that drunk in my life.
Obviously,
Um,
I was steaming.
yeah, there's a
That was
famous
a good night.
photo. It was a brilliant night.
Is it? Yeah, you got beaten up by Josh, didn't you, Dan?
Yep, got beaten up by Josh. There's a photo of me on the stage. Harry and Charlie are carrying me, and my belly's just hanging outside of the t-shirt.
I
This
have
is
not
like
seen the photo.
this
What?
is like prime lockdown, Dan.
This is like,
Um,
yeah, we were just allowed out, and we were like, okay.
yeah, so it was a great night. Bought
Yeah,
your t-shirt.
yeah, we sold loads of
And we have
t-shirts.
t-shirts.
That
Yeah.
was kind of my part of the project. So Harry was on like the creative team and the like product. So like you were the one behind like getting the songs written and recorded.
And
And
Charlie.
then, yeah, and Charlie. And then I was the one who put on the gig and I made the t-shirts and promoted the gig on social media. And I don't know if you remember, but it was I was working at the venue at the time as a cook.
Mm.
Yeah.
Remember, I was calf. And then I had to come into work the next day to people cleaning up sick from you lot. Oh, yeah. On the topic of gigs though, so how were your first few gigs with Unit 47? What was it
Yeah,
like?
so first gig was at Dead Wax Digbeth in Birmingham, which was your
Oh,
fault.
yeah, it's our first gig too.
Um that was a great gig.
Yeah.
Can't remember the band we were supporting. Um
They're not
I
getting a
remember the
shout
band we were
out.
supporting.
shout out to that band.
They must have been so
We'll dig
good
them
because
up.
you can
We'll dig
remember
them
them.
up. We'll find it. It was about 2 years ago now.
Well, I just remember because I think we were main support, and because it was our first gig, and because we're all from, well, I'm a bit further closest to Wales, but like Jack, the rhythm guitarist, he's from the Black Country. Jake was from the Telford area, so we're all like within that Midlands radius. We
Yeah,
had so many people come down to the gig, and it was just, it was a great night, and I
it's
feel like
unreal, isn't it?
we were so tight. Um, but yeah, I did feel a bit bad for the headline band because everyone had come to see us. But like, it was
Yeah.
a good gig. And
Did you find that did the crowd kind of disperse after you guys were on and the headlines went on and
I mean, if majority of the people are coming to see the main support, then obviously naturally things are going to disperse a little. But
yeah.
there were still enough people in the crowds to give the headline act a good show.
Okay, cool.
But
Yeah.
maybe, that's just the way it is sometimes.
Can be,
I
yeah,
think
can
it's
be.
always like that. If it's not a main band and their support, if it's just like a four band showcase night, then people just come and see the band they're interested in and then go
Yeah,
downstairs.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
But also like if the main band isn't advertising their own headline gig, then you know,
Yeah, I know.
that's their own fault, isn't it?
Yeah,
It kind of is.
yeah.
Yeah. So how many more gigs? How often were you gigging with Unit 47?
Uh, oh God. Well, bear in mind, we are talking like 2 years ago now.
Is
Like
it?
this is
Yeah. Fine, man.
uh
Quick.
we gig quite regularly. We probably did like once a month, some
Yeah,
sort of gig or
cool,
something.
Is that
cool.
all locally though? Is that all around Black Country where you are, like near Wales?
Yes, majority of gigs were sort of locally based. I say probably like our busiest period was like over the summer. We did a couple down in London. We did a gig at Spice of Life in Soho.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
I actually didn't know that with Unit 47.
yeah.
Oh, mad.
It's a cool room.
It's a great gig. I've got a gig there next month actually. No, sorry, April.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll be there.
Yeah.
we'll get onto all your shout outs at the end.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Don't
All
worry. Don't
right.
worry. You have a
They'll get
chance to
edited
shout
out as
everything
well.
out.
Yeah, and we did a gig at the Hope and Anchor in Islington in
Oh,
London.
Oh,
wicked.
nice.
Yeah, we also did a gig in Liverpool. We did a gig
That'd be
in
good.
What was Liverpool like?
Liverpool was great.
Yeah.
It
I've
was
never
like,
been.
Imagine.
pardon?
I've never been to Liverpool in my life.
Oh, it's a great
Yeah.
city.
Yeah, I've heard it's so cool.
The nightlife is insane, and the
Yeah.
people are really nice as well.
Are they?
Yeah.
I heard it can be a bit rough if you go down the wrong street or something. You've got to be careful.
Well, yeah, but every city's like that.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, but London's like just
London, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Go down the wrong street in Kings Langley, Dan, you're in trouble.
Oh, you never know. You never
Yeah,
know.
but it was in this like it looked like the Cabin Club. It was like underground in this cellar,
Oh,
Mm.
cool.
like these arched ceilings. It
Yeah.
was very cool. Yeah, but we gigged regularly with Unit 47, right up until we split, which is January last year.
So, just over a year ago now that you split because
Yeah,
you moved to London, yeah?
yeah.
That
So
was the big thing, right? You had to leave the band to move to London and pursue other things.
yeah, so with Unit 47, we released 6 songs, 4 on our initial EP, and then we released 2 singles, and then in January we did our last gig, which was in the Oil in Shrewsbury, which was a really good gig.
Mm.
And then, yeah, I left the band and moved down to London.
Are
Cool.
those songs still on Spotify?
Yeah, they're all on Spotify.
We'll
Yeah, it's
chuck
cool
one in
that
the
they're still up
playlist. We'll chuck one in the playlist without using as one of your two.
Okay.
there. Yeah.
What's your favourite
What, just in general, of all the songs?
Yeah, of all the
of all the
songs.
songs Unit released? Yeah.
Oh,
Do you have a
uh,
favorite? Have you ever thought about it? I guess you haven't.
I never thought about it. I had a favorite to play live.
Go
Oh
for
yeah.
that.
That was The Lion. I
Oh yeah.
love that's my favorite song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
great
going.
one. I love the Lion.
You loved hearing that. You love hearing that. That's my favorite song. Didn't
A little bit.
Bit of a-
If you
Charlie.
guys listening want to hear the Lion, you got to go and see No Rest of the Spacemen play because we play it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm performing at my next gig next
Are
year.
you?
If you want to see that song, just come to one of my gigs.
If you want to hear it done better, come to a No Rest for the
If you want to
Spaceman.
hear that song done how it was wrote, then come to one of my gigs.
If you want to see how it was written by people who know how to proper grammar, then
Oh, wow.
come see No Rest of the Spacemen.
If you want to hear it for people who know how to play the guitar properly,
Oh shit!
Oh, that's
Talking
one.
smack to me on my own podcast.
Yeah. Sorry, Dan.
Oh.
I can't come back for you there.
No, that's fine. I'll take that one. He's a very good guitarist. Anyway,
No,
moving
whoa,
on.
whoa. Let me. That was a joke. You're a better guitarist than I am. I'm just joking.
No, I don't think so. But
Oh,
let's one of the big kind of things I wanted to talk to you about is like London as a place to gig, because you came from the Midlands and that, and you
Yeah.
had kind of like a lot of options there. You obviously gigged in Birmingham, you gigged in Liverpool. There's cool, like you had a lot of kind of, it was quite wide, the like space that you could kind of reasonably travel to and gig. Whereas like now that you're in London, it's like you're gonna gig in London. So what's the kind of differences? What's the dynamic like? How is it different to gigging from where you're from?
Well, firstly, I haven't actually done that many gigs in London.
Yeah.
I moved down to London because, well, where I'm from, it's a very rural area.
Yeah.
There weren't many opportunities. If you wanted to get like a serious job. At the time, I was teaching music, so I was teaching like tutoring guitar, piano, drums, and ukulele in like schools.
You taught ukulele?
Yeah, I did.
Can you play ukulele?
Yeah, I can play ukulele.
No way. I can't imagine you playing ukulele. Every time I've seen you, you're like shredding and stuff. I can't. You're holding ukulele.
Man of many talents.
Have you got one now? Can you just bust out a really quick ukulele tune for us?
I don't have a ukulele with me in London, unfortunately.
Disgrace.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's been the Shout Out Podcast. Thanks for
Tune in next time where Harry will do a half-hour ukulele.
our ukulele set.
Yeah, I'll do a George Formby tribute act. So that's and then I moved down to London because I just thought I'm not really, apart from the band, like I'm not like progressing. Like I was just like staying at home teaching.
About.
There's nothing much to do, like apart from there's just like sheep everywhere and fields and
It is
Uh,
beautiful where Harry
it's
lives, by the way. It is lovely there.
no, it's lovely. But I thought like if I want to like, take the next step and do something, I need to get down to a city and then I can do like music once I'm like
Mm.
settled. Yeah, so I moved down in February and then it took me like 6 months to get settled. And then I thought, right, now I'm ready to start like getting back into the music. So first thing I did was I put an advert up on Join My Band again, for bandmates. And then I met this guy called Thomas, who's an American singer-songwriter, and we
Mm.
were
Mhm.
sort of working together, writing songs. We're gonna try and release a song sort of next month-ish.
Oh well.
Wow, that's soon.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, and then I'm also working with this girl called Amy, who's sort of a friend of a friend. Obviously now a friend, but yeah, she's the one who I've been gigging with as a band.
Cool.
Tailor
Um,
Made.
Tailor Made
That's tailor made, isn't it?
band, yeah. So we've done one gig in at the Half Moon in Putney,
Yep.
and we've done one gig in Shoreditch. Um, can't remember the name of the
The
venue.
Star, was it? The Star?
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know better than I do.
Well, that was, I genuinely keep saying that was one of the best nights of music I've ever been
He
to.
has not stopped talking about it.
I have not enjoyed a gig. I mean, apart from like going to see Elton John or Slipknot, but seeing like a band that's not big
It was
do a
so
half
cool.
hour set, one of the best I've seen.
Seriously,
Honestly, it
Mhm.
was great.
what did you like about it?
There was a different elements to it, right? You had your person on saxophone, the keys as well, but there was a lot of energy. I think you understood that Friday night, not everyone wants to hear 10 originals, right? Some,
Mm.
especially that room that we were in, you want to get a bit of like sing along going. Smacked out all the good covers, different eras. It weren't just all new stuff or all
Really,
old
really
stuff.
good like selection of covers.
Yeah. And you look like you're enjoying it as well. I think a lot of bands you can turn up and they look like they're shitting themselves, where you all look like you're having good fun on there. I thought it was brilliant.
What was the singer's name? Sorry,
Amy
Amy.
together.
I think we need to give Amy a shout
Give
out
her a shout out,
Yeah,
yeah.
shout
because
out to Amy.
shout out Amy.
Woo,
She
woo.
was really like carried, like really put the
Unbelievable
yeah,
voice.
really engaging. And her original song that she played was really sick as well.
Yeah.
What's happening with the original stuff? Is that just her stuff? Are you helping out with that at all?
Yes, so the originals that we played that night were
Mm.
her songs that she wrote entirely. And how it sort of started was we sort of met up to kind of she wanted to like record some demos and just like have a jam.
Yeah.
So we were like recording those songs and creating demos, and then I kind of stepped in to like help out with this gig that they had because it was initially just a three piece. They had Ollie
Okay.
on, another guy called Harry on guitar, and then Amy plays keys and sings.
Mm.
But the other Harry couldn't make a gig, so I stepped in, and then we kind of like thought let's make it like a full band.
Cool. Yeah.
But then in terms of the originals, so this next gig that we've got in April, um, we're kind of working to do more originals. I know you were just saying not everyone wants
No, but no, I'm saying like for that specific night, it was perfect what you done. We're doing a gig tomorrow night, Half Moon Putney. We're doing all originals, right? There's a time and a place for it,
Mm.
but I've just
Yeah,
loved how that gig was.
But
yeah, no,
I've loved the idea of when you've got your original song, especially if you don't have like if you haven't gone for long, you don't have 10 songs, you can't fill a set. But
Mm.
like you play the covers and then you feed your originals in, and then you can kind of and then as a listener you can kind of picture where those original songs would kind of fit into like the canon of where music is at the moment. I think it was a
Mm.
really cool way to you integrated both really well.
yeah. Because I suppose if you're doing covers, it's sort of pitching to the audience the sound that you are, the genre that you are.
Exactly,
Mhm.
Like you
yeah.
said, filtering in the originals as well. Just
Mm,
you know, people, yeah, like I said, the canon of music. But yeah, this next gig, we're going to do more originals.
cool.
We're currently writing some more songs, Amy and I. So I'm sort of
Mm,
starting to, collaborate with Amy on in terms of writing the songs.
yeah.
Um,
Is it
I
a
think,
similar dynamic to when you were with Charlie and like you're kind of doing more of the music and then she's doing a lot of the lyrics? Is there kind of like overlap going on?
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much exactly the same. So like last weekend we wrote a song. I like came up with the riff on guitar, came up with the chords, sort of like hum the rough melody,
Mm.
and then we were like trying to figure out a chorus, and then Amy just like sang this thing that sounded really sick,
Yeah,
and
that's so
we was
cool.
like, yeah, that's the chorus. That is the
Yeah,
chorus. And then like pieces just fall together. Do you know what I mean?
I love that. Yeah, you know, when you're working something out for so long and you're trying so many different things, and then someone just does something, and everyone looks at them like that's the thing, and it felt like it kind of already existed. You just needed to find it. Did you find that
Yeah,
as well?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I feel like I don't know, like that's probably like the first time since being down in London. I thought, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
back.
it's so good to hear, man.
getting into music again. Right,
Yeah.
this is a
Let's
song.
shout out this gig. When is it? You said it's in April.
Yeah, April the 11th,
Cool.
Spice Live, Soho.
Wicked.
I think we're on about 8:30, so
Return
it's
of the
not
King.
Return of the King.
Return of the King. Is it a full band again? Is it because I know you had a few people stepping in short notice, right? So that was like that's what I also loved about it was like you had people stepping in. They also done really well. Like, is it
Yeah,
a full band again?
shout out to Alex.
Yeah, Alex. Yeah.
Hey! Alex
Let's give
Brunt.
Alex a 5 minute segment. Here we go.
Yeah, so Alex Brunt, the bassist from No Rest for the Spacemen,
Musical director.
music director.
He's probably our musical director.
So he and also a mate from uni. That's how we know each other. He very kindly offered to step in for that gig to play bass. Um, so yeah, yeah, like you said, we had people step in, but the next gig will be a full band again,
Nice.
Right. Even the saxophone player.
even the sax player.
I
Yeah,
love
That's
that.
so cool. She was great,
Saxophone was
man.
cool.
Yeah.
that's I've never been in a band with a sax player. It's cool.
No, I've never even played with a saxophone player. I'd love to. It'd be so sick.
It's another dynamic for like being on stage as well because not
Mm.
like every other band is just two guitars, sing in the middle, like drum.
Yeah.
That's like another thing to look at. It's another angle for like you can have so
Yeah.
many different directions you can take songs in. With
Yeah, I
like
mean, like you did an Amy Winehouse song and it had a saxophone. And I was just like, oh my God, it's perfect. Are
Yeah.
you incorporating things like that when you're writing the songs now with Tailor Made? Are you thinking like we've got a saxophone player, so then we could have a little section here where we can have some more music going on with that? Or are you kind of just thinking for now it's just we just do the chords and the lyrics and everything else can kind of fit in after that?
Um, let's be honest, like it's still early days, so we're
Yeah,
still trying to figure out our image, still trying to figure out the vibe. Um, I don't want to speak for the rest of the band,
that's
but
fine.
I mean, Amy and I were talking about image and vibe, and we were quite keen to go down like a sort of Fleetwood Mac-ish
nice.
kind of vibe. Like, have you ever seen
Mm-hmm.
like Daisy Jones and the Six?
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of 70s rock,
Yeah.
Mm,
folk
great.
rock kind of vibe. Um, but I suppose when I was writing this song, I was thinking we've got a sax player in the band. What are they going to do with this song? So I was sort of thinking about that, but I'd say I'm not used to writing for saxophone.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking, right, there's going to be a minute long saxophone solo here. Uh,
Why not?
Yeah. Why not, Harry? Come on.
why not? Because it's the modern music industry.
Okay, yeah.
Don't listen to that. It's not like Pink Floyd where they've got three sax solos and two guitar solos in one song.
So you actually, though, saying that, you didn't start off playing guitar, did you? You learned a different instrument. You came to uni with a specialist in something that's closer to a saxophone than a guitar, didn't you?
I didn't. What's this?
I suppose so. I suppose you could say.
Suppose so. You're a
What?
French. You're a French horn player, no?
What?
Yeah,
You really?
torn. Yeah. So
Huh?
yeah, what do you want to know the story of like
I
what?
want to know how you on earth you got from French horn to playing electric guitar, lead guitar in bands, because that's like two completely different worlds.
Yeah, no, it is.
You learned guitar at uni, right? You haven't really played much before.
It may have sounded like it, but
That's the worst dig ever. You learned guitar a few years ago, right?
No.
you
How
know
long
what I'm
have you?
saying? Dan's a better guitarist than me. He is.
No, shut up.
How long have you played guitar
I
for?
was trying to pick you up. I was trying to be like, you never
I
even
know.
touched the thing, and now he's amazing. No,
I know.
not at all.
I'm
What do you
taking
mean?
the piss. I'm taking
Played it since he was 5, and you've just done that.
No, so yeah, music wise, so I started playing music when I was 6. My mum played piano and an
Mm.
instrument called the oboe.
Hmm.
And then she sort of started paying for me to have piano lessons when I was 6.
Mm.
And then when I did grade 1, my mum was like, "You can learn another instrument," and I was like, "I want a guitar. I want a guitar."
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, but then my mum was like, "No,
It's
Really?
the French horn time.
you need to learn the French horn."
Did you grab?
And what's the French horn scene like in London?
It's the best place.
Honestly, it's probably a lot better paying than the
Probably.
electric guitar scene in London at the
Yeah.
moment.
Well, no, I love the French horn, and I'm very grateful that I play the French horn. It's a
Yeah.
fantastic instrument. It's a beautiful instrument.
Yeah.
Um, and the reasoning that she wanted me to play it was that not many people play it,
Hmm.
and therefore it's always in demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of that was my main instrument, is my main passion from like age 10 right up until like 18.
Mm.
Hmm.
So I went to the Royal Northern College of Music at 18 to study the French horn, but I kind of realized like this isn't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a professional French horn player.
No.
Like I was learning guitar during sixth form. That's when I started learning the guitar. I like all the music that I listened to wasn't like I listened to like indie music and like rock
Yeah.
music.
You're not really
Serious lack
listening
of
to
French horn in
Mozart.
indie music.
Yeah, and I started having like music technology lessons at sixth form. And I did that sort of A level. So I
Mm.
thought this is what I want to do. So then I left the Royal Northern, and that's when I sort of like really like honed down on like learning guitar.
Mm.
And that's obviously when I met all you guys at Brooks.
Can
Were
I
you
make a
having guitar?
proposition to you?
You
If
can.
it's quite unlikely, considering everything else is currently on 40 views, if this episode gets 250 views, will you play the French horn at one of the gigs?
250 views.
250
Yeah.
views, the minute it hits 250 views, because we haven't hit past 40 at the minute. So
That'd be a
if you're
massive
watching this, send it to
undertaking.
someone, and Harry will play the French horn at a No Rest for the Spaceman gig or Tailor Made gig.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Fuck. That'd be cool. We'll get a video of it, or we could even get him to record a little French horn bit for a
Yeah.
podcast intro.
That, if
Place
you can make us a
budget
little intro and a bit of French horn.
on the French horn. That'd be
Yeah.
so cool.
I'm
So,
We'll
down.
talk about that. We'll talk about that later. But
yeah.
The French
moving
horn.
on, one thing we've talked about on this podcast in the past is like going from music education to like a career in music and like how difficult that transition was. How do you feel like about I don't want to make it a leading question. So just like how do you find like doing a degree in music and then like trying to make it music after that? I'm getting a shake of his
Do you
head.
think it's like my stance is? Do you think it's necessary to have a successful career, or do you think it's helped you in your musical career studying music?
I don't know, because I feel like people took different things away from that music degree. It was
Yeah.
such a mixed bag of things. It was like you had theory, you had history, you had the very basics of music technology, you had songwriting, which was just write me a song. Okay, yeah, that's good. But what it's all subjective, isn't it? So, you
Yeah.
know, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like the majority of stuff that I learned that I use in my music at the moment, I learned prior to uni.
Mm.
Mm.
Um, and I've taught myself.
Did you teach yourself guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
I thought that was going to be another dig then.
And how did you go about teaching yourself guitar?
Um, well, because obviously I did piano, I played piano, I did the
Yeah.
horn. I've been doing music theory since I was a little kid. So that really helps in just sort of mapping music out in your mind.
Mm. Yeah.
And especially playing the piano, because I don't know about you, but when I picture a note or picture a chord, I just think of the keys in my head and it's all like related in my head.
Oh,
So when I'm
okay.
playing guitar, one thing that really helped was just being able to map it out in my mind.
Mm.
Especially that helps with songwriting as well, knowing what
Must
chords
do.
to do and things
Yeah.
like that. scales to use. Um, so I suppose how did I go about learning guitar? I just learned my favorite songs to start off with.
Yeah.
A
Oasis.
lot of Oasis.
Yeah.
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 First song that I remember like distinctly learning was Don't Look Back in Anger. And I remember I didn't have a guitar. My brothers got given a guitar and an amp when they were really little. So I was at home one summer, I got it down from the attic, plugged it in, turned it up, and thought, right, that's a C chord, that's a
Yeah.
D chord, that's a G. And I like really slowly figured it out. I was learning
Oh,
Don't
it's
Look Back in
cool.
Anger.
It's
That's
wild
really
going from knowing all about the music theory and then having to apply it to like the technical, like the actual finger movements. Because most
Yeah.
people like me would have knew all the shapes of the chords before I even knew what notes I was playing.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
also I played the ukulele before. So I played
Oh,
the
okay.
ukulele in primary school. So I already knew like strumming patterns and
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
great.
So that helped. So, and I've like, I suppose the like finger dexterity was sort of there from maybe piano, a little bit
Mm.
ukulele. So it's just
Oh,
like learning the chords and
yeah.
stuff and like being able to like train your muscle memory, I suppose.
You mentioned
Yeah.
Oasis. I'm going to bring it up a little bit earlier. We normally do it at the end. What are your? I mean, we're going to ask you to put two songs on the playlist. What are like, your favorite bands before we do that? Like, what music inspires you? What music do you listen to? Has it changed?
Uh, I'd say like I listen to a real mixed bag of things. I know everyone says that, but
Oh, I
um
listen to Oasis and the
Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys.
no, I also listen to the Kooks.
Oh, what do you think of that? Well, what do you think of their new song? Have you heard it?
Nope, I don't
No.
actually listen to the
Oh.
Oh, you don't know. They dropped a new song last week. It was quite good. I like it.
Oh, I will listen to it.
Give it a
We'll get them
listen.
on soon. We'll ask them about it.
Their new album, they recorded it in 5 days.
Really?
The whole album.
Oh shit.
It's insane.
It's
I
quick.
don't know how they did that. It's not out yet. I don't think it's out until April or something, but
I'll
not
check it
bad.
out after this.
You might even get a Danny B review of it.
Go
Yeah,
on.
but
What are you listening to? What's your music that you like?
um, well, obviously my Oasis has always been like a big inspiration for me. I mean, I can show you my like on repeat if you like.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
what's on
give us
your
some names.
right. So I've been really listening to a lot of George Harrison lately,
Okay.
specifically his album "Living in the Material World." That's a
Okay.
beautiful album. The
I don't know that.
song "The Light Has Lighted the World," cracking song, and
Is
it's
that making it in? Is that part of your two songs that you're choosing or not yet?
yes, put that song in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
You
love that
sure?
song. Yeah.
let's stick that one on there. I can
Say
have
it
a
to me
listen.
again because I didn't quite hear the song name.
The light that has lighted the world.
The light that has lighted the world.
And it's produced by Phil Spector.
Okay, nice. It's in the
Obviously,
playlist.
it's a terrible person, but an excellent producer.
Mm.
Um, what else am I listening to? Over like last year, I got into big country phase. Listened to a lot of country.
Me too, man. Me too. Well, who are you listening to? What country artists?
Tyler Childers.
Yeah, love Tyler.
That's
Zach Bryan.
yeah, Zach Bryan. Good. What's it? Good for you.
I don't know. Good
That's a
for
good
you.
song. Zach
Um.
Top.
Oh yeah.
Never lie.
Do you listen to the Red Stray Clays?
Yeah. Oh, what was
You've got
that?
to start, mate. They're so cool.
No, isn't it something about the weather, that song?
Something about. Oh mate, they've
Oh,
got so.
Wondering Why, sorry, that's it. Wondering
Yeah,
Why.
yeah, yeah, mate. They've
Yeah.
got so many good tunes. They're one of them bands that release an album every song. It's great.
Yeah, they're a good
What,
band.
what's going on with that? Why did country music just like pop up out of nowhere? Do you know
I
where
don't
it
know.
came
I
from?
listened to it. I also went through a big phase of listening to like Frank Sinatra and Ella
I
Fitzgerald.
like Frank Sinatra.
And then I started listening to like folk music because I watched the Bob Dylan film. And then I just went back to listening to Oasis because I missed them. And
Your
then
bread and butter.
and then I started listening to like loads of Jimi Hendrix
Mm.
because I just love the guitar solo. So I was listening to him. And then I started listening to like Gary Moore because he did a really cool Jimi Hendrix cover album, which was a live album. That was absolutely sick. So I listened to like Gary Moore. So yeah, it's like I say, it's just a mixed bag of everything.
That's
It's a mixed
great.
bag.
Yeah.
I like that.
Have you listened? Are you listening to anything that's like? any of like the new albums that have come out in the last year, 6 months or something? Have you heard like Blossom's new album, Fontaine's new album?
Uh,
You know, keep yeah,
I'm the same. I don't listen to music when it like I don't get excited really for like a
the new
new album
music.
release. I'll listen to the same three songs from a band over and over again.
It's few and far between. I always find that like a band will release a new single. I'm like, oh, that's really cool, and you listen to the album, and it's like it's not. There's not much else going on there on the album.
yeah, I say like one. The only new song I've got in my like on repeat is "Messy" Lola Young.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's just a nice
We can
song.
actually give you a little exclusive from our end. We might be covering that
We're not.
at a gig coming soon.
We're not. You can
So
That
play it if you want, Harry. I'm not playing it.
we're gonna try it.
really,
Maybe it's Charlie's idea.
Charlie really wants us to cover it.
you know
Let's see.
what? I can kind of. I think I might be able to picture that. I feel like it's an indie enough for it to be coverable.
Yeah,
You think? A bit like what? But
we've got to sell it to Dan.
I'm not sold at all on the idea of it. I think if you're going to cover a song, you got to cover a song that all the oldies are going to know and like and sing along to. I don't think Messi's really the one.
Do you think? Do you think that's the criteria for covering a song?
No, no, I don't think that's the criteria for the gig we have in mind.
Yeah,
Specifically for this gig that we have in mind, that is why we need to do covers.
just to confirm, we're not going into like an old people's home. This is like a pub, but it's like a
It's like a local pub. All our
yeah.
like family, our like parents and uncles are going to be there and stuff.
Oh, is it the one in Kings Langley?
Yeah, it's the one in Kings Langley. Yeah,
I don't know why we're keeping that so like secretive.
I don't know. It's on our. It's literally on our
Yeah,
not Instagram. Yeah, we're playing the old Palace again.
we
We're only doing some covers.
we never got you to add your second song onto the
Oh yeah,
playlist. That was another question I was going to be interested because obviously you've added quite a well-known song in there. What about independent bands? Any smaller artists? Don't choose us because all our songs are already on there. But what else do you want to add in there?
Uh, smaller bands, smaller bands.
If you don't like independent artists, you can skip it. Charlie skipped it. Charlie
Yeah.
hates independent music. Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
just forgot. He just chose
Oh.
two big songs.
I'm actually going to see a band at the weekend. Not you guys. I'm not going to see you guys tomorrow, but
Hey,
it's a band called Big Sleep.
Big Sleep.
Big
Yeah.
Sleep.
That's quite cool name.
None of them.
I think they're an
How did you
Irish.
find out about them?
So Thomas, the guy who I'm working with in this duo, he introduced me to them, and they're like, it's a really, really cool vibe. They're like indie, indie pop kind of ish,
Mm.
and they've got a really cool song called 2 Cents.
Got it. Yeah, let me back it in. 2 cents.
I'm not sure if they're what classifies indie. I don't know if they're signed or not, but
Oh, let me
We'll,
back
we'll
in.
call we'll call them independent.
Yeah.
It's
they've
fine.
got 62,000, 6.26K monthly
Oh,
listeners.
their Spotify looks cool.
Cool.
Got a song about McDonald's. I like that.
Is that a shout out then?
Shout out Big Sleep. Yeah.
Shout out to Big Sleep.
Do we do it?
Hey, get some energy in them.
Hey, when's this gig?
It's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday. So you're going to a gig on Friday and Saturday?
That's a dedicated
Busy
man.
weekend. Good stuff. You haven't talked much about this guy. What's the American dude you're making music with? What's his name? Sorry,
Thomas.
Thomas. What's happening there?
Yes, so obviously I put the advert up on Join My Band for bandmates, and initially I was looking for like similar vibe to Unit 47 rock.
Yeah.
You know, I think I put my influences like John Squire, Oasis, the Beatles, stuff like that. Then he responded, and he had this kind of more like singer-songwriter, but it was also quite maybe a hint of country, but he was also kind of wanted to make it indie-ish. And so
Cool.
we kind of jammed, and he had some songs that he wanted to like record as demos. Um, yeah, so we've been sort of jamming since probably like October,
Cool.
um,
Nice.
and we're really keen to just like release a song next month. But
How does that work with just the two of you?
Yeah. Well, we just obviously in terms of singing, he does all the singing, and
Mm.
then because it's not like live music, it's very kind of like pop, indie pop slash country. It's quite easy to
Mm.
Mm.
produced without live drums, so we don't really need a
Yeah.
live drummer. And
Cool.
then
Would
yeah,
you be
we
going to play live though eventually?
eventually, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
What's the kind of style you like? How are you like going about writing these songs? Did he come to you with some songs like ideas that he needed fleshing out, or like did you have some ideas that you brought to him and he can write words over them? A bit of both.
Yeah, so he had songs that he brought to the table
Mm.
initially, and then we just kind of recorded demos of those.
Mm.
But then because obviously the songs that I had written weren't really in that genre and work didn't really fit his voice because he's got it's a very lovely voice, but it's very unique and specific to a certain genre, and his voice wouldn't really work with the songs that I'd already
Mm.
written. So
Mysterious.
pardon?
He
Mysterious.
sounds very mysterious.
I mean, I'll send you a demo.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be good.
cool.
Uh, yeah, but then recently I've been like writing the chords and writing melody. I don't know, it's the same with like Amy. The way it works is like I will come up with the chords and the melody.
Mm.
'Cause initially that's all I care about, to be honest. Obviously I want the lyrics to fit and
That's what you listen to. The
I
other
want
stuff doesn't matter.
well, I want the lyrics to fit and I want them to mean something, of course. They're
Mm.
very important. But
Yeah.
what I will come up with initially in my head is just the melody and the chords.
Yeah.
And for me, that conveys enough emotion.
Cool.
Nice.
So yeah, and then he will, and I'll like say the odd word, like filler
Yeah.
word,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then like just fill in the gaps. And
Yeah.
that's what worked with Charlie at uni as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what was the question?
You basically answered it. You
I want to
answered it.
hear.
Good,
Can we
man.
get him on? If because we normally ask you to give it like a shout out to get someone on. Would that be something we can do with this mysterious man that you write music
Yeah, we
with?
can get Thomas on.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get him on. When you really after you release the first single, we'll have Thomas on. We
yeah.
can chat about how it
all
went.
right, yeah, that
That'd be
sounds
And
great.
good.
Amy, I want Amy. Everyone from Tailor Made's got to come on as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. Damn,
Wicked, man.
I'll let him know.
Any other shout outs you want to get off your chest?
Um,
We're here.
You know, your mum or your dog.
I don't I don't have it. No, I don't know.
What we?
It's all right. Sometimes, yeah, yeah, this is recorded, isn't it? Shout out my mum.
Hey!
Hey, mum.
Shout out my dad. Woo!
Hey! Keep going.
Shout out my cat.
Hey! No,
Oh
cats
my
are dicks.
God.
Cats are dicks. Cats are
Cat's
dicks.
actually dead. So,
Just call your cat a dick, and that's brilliant. Thanks, Harry.
dead, not dick.
He said it's
No, I
dead.
said cats are dicks, and then you went, "Well, she's dead."
Oh, fucking
This is
hell.
not a cat
Is that, are you
friendly
going to actually
podcast.
release this? Because I feel like I wouldn't mind a take two.
This was absolutely
You only
done
get one shot at the
amazingly.
shout out, mate.
Um, yeah, no, I feel like I've shouted out everyone.
That's
That's
a
all
good
good,
amount of
man.
shout
That's all
outs.
good. If you ever want to come back on and make some more shout outs, you're more than welcome to.
I think you've made a record amount of shout outs, actually, if we think of the previous two episodes.
You're not
Yeah, we
counting.
didn't get a lot of shout outs. Last episode was an hour and a half and we didn't get many shout outs.
No.
An hour and a half.
Not official shout outs.
Not
We didn't
official
get
shout
official
outs.
shout. So, Harry, you have the
He
record.
does a lot of his own shouting out in his own
Yeah,
circles and stuff.
Can I ask about NRFTSM Spaceman?
of course.
Yeah.
Talk about
Mate,
ourselves.
ask away. What you got?
Wait, so when you're obviously like you're doing this podcast, do you position it as we are the members from NRFTSM Spaceman, or do you?
We try not to, but it does come up every 10 minutes.
Okay.
But it's not like it's not like, we're the guitarist and drummer for NRFTSM Spaceman. We're just people who like music, who wanted to talk about music.
It is plastered on our Instagram that we are Danny B and Dan from the rest of Spacemen, though.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's as in it's
Yeah.
we love music, right? But we're trying to give us another outlet that isn't just the band, where we
Yeah.
can talk about music. We love like the local scene where we are,
Yeah.
and we love bigging people up. And I think that there's not enough of it. So I think that was half the reason why we started it. Although we've got 25 followers in a minute, eventually if everyone shouts out someone, then you're gonna have quite a big network of people like scratching each other's back.
Yeah, we just want like people to be able to just like talk about themselves and what they're doing. You know, find cool musicians who are like doing good stuff and just like give them a chance to just chat. Because you don't really get like so much of like when you're in a band and you're trying to get yourself known, you can either talk in between songs,
Yeah.
post on Instagram or maybe a 30-second reel. And like if you're lucky, you'll get a radio interview. But even then, that's like a lot of pressure and it's like only 5-minute clips and stuff that get out there. So we just wanted like just like a kind of platform, to build a bit of a community where people can just kind of take as long or as little time as they want to just kind of let people know about who they are and what they're doing.
Oh no, it's very cool. No, thanks for having me on.
And we have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You should have
And
like
thank you for coming on, Harry. It
no,
wouldn't be the shout out without someone to shout out. And tonight it was Mr. Harry Lawrence. He's in Tailor Made. He's got other stuff going on. He's a great guy to follow. Do you have any Taylor? Is there any like Instagrams or stuff people can follow for your stuff?
not at the moment.
Not at the moment, but
we'll share it
out
when it
on
comes
our
out, right?
Instagram
Yeah.
if you want to follow his stuff and hear the new single that's coming out next month. We'll find out when the gigs are for Tailor Made. You'll be on the shout out. So thank you so much for Harry for coming on. Guys, this has been the Shout Out Podcast, episode 3 with Harry Lawrence. If you want more of this, we've got a few more coming on the way. We've got some more that were released early this week. Just follow, hit the bell point to get notified when we post new stuff. This has been a lot of fun. Harry, Dan, good night.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, thanks for having me.